Hi, my name is Marty Mongiello, and this is the perception of organizational structure as I see it. And this is for Mongiello Holdings LLC, the Inn of the Patriots LLC, the United States Presidential Culinary Museum, the United States Presidential Service Center, and supported by Mongiello Associates Strategic Marketing, Laurel Placement, and the Intercontinental Academy of Household Hotel and Resort Management. This also is going to include an official organizational chart of the corporations and team with 5-year projections of how I think I would like to change my role and other roles that would change inside the companies. This is part of a presentation on my part at Lenoir Rhyne University Graduate School for Leadership. I'm working on my second master's degree right now, preparing for practicum and then to enter a doctorate program for marketing and data science. Moving forward to the next slide, we see that the companies are using a wheel fashion currently right now, and part of this work for the university was to showcase graphically my perception of the current organizational structure. So I'm a huge believer of the wheel and equal positions where no one is allowed to be better than anyone else. And this clearly shows that. We do have some abbreviations here starting in the top left, about 11 o'clock quadrant. Very close to the center there is TIOTP. This is the Inn of the Patriots, a country inn, which is operating in 5,700 square feet in Cleveland County, North Carolina, in a town named after the President of the United States of America, Grover on Cleveland Avenue, Grover, Cleveland, here in Cleveland County. And SM, Stormy Mongiello, and Kim Hambright are the leaders here at this facility. Moving over to the 1 o'clock position, you see the Presidential Service Center, and this receives a lot of support worldwide from many different trustees and advisors on our boards, but primarily at this time in Washington, D.C., Antoine Thomas, A.T., and Orlando Herrera are the primary leaders for this project. The next one down is the Food History Museum. This is a new project we have been working on, the U.S. Food History Museum, and it is abbreviated by FHM. We've done some preliminary work on this and also the World Food History Museum, but at this time we really don't have very many leaders on that and dedicated to that. And then over to the approximately, I guess, 7 o'clock there, the American Revolutionary War Living History Center, the ARWLHC. This is also here at this facility, like the Presidential Service Center. And Mark Anthony has been a long-term executive director, quite excellent at what he does, and also serves on the main board for the Sons of the American Revolution in the United States. And then Alexis Skidmore has been with us for a long time, so you see MA and AS there. And where I fit into this process is under the Presidential Culinary Museum. The very next one up at about 9 o'clock, the PCM, you see Marty Mongiello right there. And Christer Gustafson of Australia is our president of the museum design and ideas for exhibits and things. So we're just moving right along now in our 11th year with this. Yes, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't mention that I own all the trademarks and rights for all these companies 100%. So it's somewhat challenging to list where I fit in and what I think the organization chart looks like for all the companies, and then where it's going to go moving forward. Part of this assignment is to try to explain what the differences are between the real chart and the chart that you think inside your mind that represents where you fit in. So in my case, I kind of have had a tremendous helping hand in building all of these philosophies, especially with Antoine and Orlando in Washington, D.C., and my wife, Stormy Mongiello, who you may have noticed, of course, was on the previous chart. Moving forward, as part of this assignment, we were asked to look at 5-year projections and changing roles and where I'd like to see myself. I actually have been so impressed with my wife and her work on her MBA degree and moving forward to her doctoral degree. I would like to see her pair up with Lila Blackstone. She is a fantastic attorney that works with us in Washington, D.C., and works for the government there, actually, of Washington, D.C., the municipality. But Lila has had strong and long aspirations of building her private law firm up even larger. And I would love to see these two ladies take over all of the companies and run them as a joint chairperson of the companies. And that would move a few things around, bringing in, starting up there again at the 11 o'clock position, several people like James Blakely. And I would like to move myself in the future over with Krista Gustafson in the bottom right quadrant at about 4 o'clock into the Food History Museum, and you can see that's building out. And then Renee Crichter-Lyons is currently a very well-known author and historian and professor at East Tennessee State University. I would love to see her move in to the American Revolutionary War Living History Center with Mark Anthony. So at the 7 o'clock quadrant, we are bringing her in. And then Joe Uton has been a fantastic supporter of the Presidential Culinary Museum, and we would like to bring him in as a former Marine, and then probably hire somebody new, which Joe would help in that hiring process over there at the 9 o'clock quadrant for the Presidential Culinary Museum. So we're very, very big on equality and the advancement of diversity in all of the companies. And we have some weird rules where we don't allow people to be called employees. It's a dirty word. Everyone's a team member. And you will notice that in a great diversity of our people. We generally operate at about 50-50 men and women. And we do want to represent all of the different races and cultures on Earth. So that push for diversity is pretty much how we hire and think, and our philosophy and what we want to showcase to the world. And also, even with Mr. Thomas's private wealth management firm in Washington, D.C., he has the same philosophies. So many of us that are involved in all these projects and companies, we pretty much are pushing the same open, homogeneous agenda. Of diversity is a fantastic thing, and even if a person is unhappy in their role and would like to go off and do something else, that's perfectly fine as well. You don't always have to do the same kind of job. You don't have to quit or be fired. You could just go work in a completely different area. So this has been a lot of fun for me to showcase these charts as well, and to look down the road with a 5-year projection.